I think it's the patriarchy is kind of what I consider to be the apex fallacy. You're looking at a very, very, very small percentage of men who are at the very top and who do probably have a disproportionate amount of power and influence, but you're disregarding like 99% plus of the ordinary man who has absolutely no power. And it's just like you're looking at the very top percentage of men.
Are you defining power based on how much people are suffering?
I mean, power is like financial, influential, like political, mainly.
Because like I feel like when it comes to the whole like, because I don't think that saying that a patriarchy exists actually, I don't think it actually downplays the pain of like, you know, regular men. I think that it's evidence that men are suffering. Like, you know, back to the suicidal rate, like I think the patriarchal definition of power is having like not like having like, you know, expressing no feelings, being, you know, suffering by yourself, you know, being independent and doing all of that. But like I feel like patriarchy established that. And I don't know if men established that, but like that's terrible for men.
Patriarchy established that, which was intended to serve men.
But
yeah,
like the patriarchy isn't a social construct. Like you do realize like human beings are like almost like 300,000 years old. And it's like we had to survive for all that time, and like without technology, without walls and like roofs over our heads and electricity and water. It's like there's hundreds of thousands of years of history that you're just kind of not accounting for, like in why things are the way they are.
Well, I wouldn't.
Adjust for technology. I think it's important to adjust for technology.
Adjust how? Like, how would you say? Like, what would adjusting be to you?
I think it's important to not entirely compare like apples to apples with like what happened in the past, and adjust with like different rationale. Just because we have a lot more advancements right now, where we don't need like you're not gonna go out and like get me a steak, right? Like, I mean, like from a.
I see what you're saying, like times are changing and like things have advanced, but it's like I don't believe that humans' biology will change just because like a smartphone was invented and like we have internet now. Like our core instincts are still based on hundreds of thousands of years of evolution.
Yeah, where people protect each other. You were saying something?
I was gonna say that I think the patriarchy has like it's not a social construct, but it has very social consequences. And that's what I was mainly talking about.
The thing is that like I'm still trying to really, because everyone has a different sense of what the patriarchy is. It's sort of this nebulous term. So, like, what is it? What is the patriarchy?
I think it's a type of philosophy.
But what is that?
The philosophy that men are deserving of more power, so therefore men should be granted more power.
Which men? Because very few men have power.
So the people who made patriarchy is that 0.00001% of men who are exceeding. And like, yeah, I would agree that like the patriarchy also fucks over the regular men. And like when women say that a patriarchy exists, we are not trying to dismiss the pain of the regular man.
But so isn't it more a class thing than it is a gender thing? Like it's the people in power and like
well, I mean
the elites.
Yeah, like I mean it kind of depends on what kind of philosophy that you subscribe to. Like your line of thinking is actually somewhat similar to what it would be similar to Marxism, because Marxism would say that, you know, when it comes to, you know, suffering, it's class struggle. And like things like gender or whatever is part of the secondary structure, so it's not direct.
Well, I would say this when it comes to class. I would say that a poor man and a poor woman have far more in common than does a rich man and a rich. Sorry, I just butchered this. Hold on, I fucked it up.
It's okay. I didn't completely
hear
it.
You
can totally repeat
it.
it.
That's very socialist of you.
No, well, I often hear it said like
working class hero.
No, I often hear it said that a poor black man and a poor white man have far more in common than does a rich white. Oh my God, I've already butchered it. Than does a poor black man and a rich black man.
see what you're saying.
Marxist Brian?
Yeah, so it's like if y'all both got money, then race doesn't matter all of a sudden, basically.
That's a pretty
Yeah.
Marxist take, actually, because, you know, things like race, religion, spirituality, like, when it comes to Marx, he's like, no, that's not the source of struggle. It's money. Hence, big capitalism.
Eric, can you pull up the USSR national anthem?
What?
We got.
Oh no.
Why not the
Yeah.
Communist Manifesto?
Yeah,
it's a
oh,
really
yeah.
short
Oh,
read.
communism.
It's a class
But-
solidarity, y'all.
Goodness, 40 hours.
What the fuck?
I'd
But,
rather have a little like unfairness than like just like everyone getting the same, which never turns out that way. Yeah.
But like when it comes to patriarchy, right? I guess the point I'm trying to make is that it's not like, yes, maybe it is men who do occupy some of these higher positions of power, politics, corporations. I mean, there's a few reasons. There's reasons why that could be beyond theorized sexism. But for example, I don't know if you guys have heard. There's this greater male variability theory, which states that men and women, on average, are equivalent in terms of intelligence. However, when you look at the what's it called, the
Bell curve. Or
sort of a
or
bell
the
curve thing.
extremes,
If you
yeah.
look at the extremes, you have more men with genius IQs than you do have women, but you also have a ton of you have much more stupid men than you have stupid women. So on both sides, you have men who are just like insanely high IQs. There's more of them than there are women, and there's also much more men with